My name is Csaba Mányai, and I'm impact architect behind the Community Arts Network, which is an emerging multidisciplinary network with the purpose to kind of help the field tap into the full potential of arts. And we're focused on building an enabling infrastructure and kind of bringing a new type of advocacy to the field, which is really not along the lines of standing on the street corner metaphorically and shouting even louder that arts can be important, rather trying to bring arts as a useful, meaningful, practical tool to other fields, so that if we employ that, other fields and disciplines may experience and see the value of integrating arts in a different way. Our approach really stems from the concept that many of our endeavors, or most of our efforts really to try to make impact and achieve results, follow a very industrial kind of logic or pattern. But what we experienced mostly around us is that results and impact are rather born than manufactured. So they follow rather the logic of an organic process. And we try to kind of bring a new framework to all of these endeavors, because what we see around us, that the grand challenges we face are complex, interconnected, and emergent, while the tools that we have to deal with them customarily are specialized, targeted, and work in silos mostly. And education is a prime example of this. I think that you quoted Ken Robinson. He talked about the whole idea of how we could look at education as an ecosystem, and how we have to rethink the question that was originally posed in the industrial era, and how we use education basically as a manufacturing tool, even if we refined it and fine-tuned it in many ways. But we're not necessarily asking the question, what are we preparing ourselves for through education, and whether the world that we're preparing ourselves for is similar at its core than when our current concept of education was born. The way we really see this, that if we are facing such interconnected grand challenges that follow a different pattern than our tools, then arts may have a very important responsibility and opportunity and a key role in making this qualitative transformation, transcending those boundaries, because art's power really resides exactly in those elements to help us exercise moral imagination, of reconciling opposites, connecting through boundaries. All of these things are inherent in art's unique approach. And one of the key challenges that we think is, how can we tap into these unique qualities, what art's way of engaging with the world and ourselves can bring. We're absolutely not saying that arts in itself could be a substitute for all the other important dimensions. But I think it is really key and important that we integrate smartly what arts can bring to the table. And in this way, together, we could actually, arts in that sense could be a missing piece in that whole ensemble of tools and approaches that we use to drive learning and development. And finally, in this way, I think we can and should move beyond the idea regarding arts as well. And I know it's a big subject of talking about subjects and classes and classrooms in education, but I think it is the same for arts, that we can move beyond the idea that we have arts in education as a subject of learning, and we can think and explore towards arts being a medium of learning, exploration, connecting, We often tend to forget about the value of what we already have, right? And then we tend to focus on bringing in what we're missing. And I think both are important in this sense. And I just wanted to echo Jeff's point that it's not really a debate, an either or kind of thing. The question is, how can we create a better framework for a better balance of these things? And one of the key elements, I think, is this idea that that we can approach something from multiple perspectives that are relevant and important, and we can create a full picture only together. And that goes to this humbleness of multiple ways of knowing, and also really that where we're coming from in education. The idea was that first you have to kind of acquire knowledge without real life application or without applying it. And the kind of world we have now, this is becoming increasingly tiresome and difficult to manage because kids are not willing to really make that stretch and bridging between the two. And what we're kind of lacking, which is would be really important, is the drive, the imagination, the agency of bringing all the things together, applying it to problems, and really making use of the potential expertise that we can develop. And I don't think it's really about getting rid of that part. It's really coming to a fuller picture of who we are and what we need to know.